I haven't heard anything about the Proud Boys.
Well, you're right, and I think that we probably won't because they're real happy with how things are going. You know, they don't. They're not agitated. At least they're not until some of them find out that their health care is going to cost them 3 times as much, or that some of them have baby mamas too, and that they got cut off, and that they're gonna have to figure some things out. But yeah, for they love the way that the government is going or not going. They love that they think that they have a bad man in the White House who is openly a white supremacist. He's openly racist, right? He's openly sexist, and that works for them.
Well, it does work for the few. Not the many, but the few.
Yeah, not for us.
But yeah,
Hey, not for these women who've been crying out for all this time about the release of the Epstein files, and we're well over a month after they were ordered to release them. So, yeah, but as Machiavelli used to say, might makes right, right? And he said, so.
well, look, it's documented. I mean, we have known about the Epstein files, and I mean, we have known about the proclivity of this man. Come on now, I mean, for years, I mean, it I was actually shocked when he got elected the first time. After all of the civil rights things, that when he had to seize on his rental applications, when he didn't pay the people that built the casino in Atlantic City, when he got sued in Atlantic. I can go on and on. 6 bankers. Look, I know people with 2 bankruptcies that cannot get a car.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I know, like people that used to own their own home. Notice I said used to own their own home. Now they're renting because they can't afford their own home. So when you keep seeing things going up, I'll give you a good example. I remember when I could get a banana for a dime. Now I can buy 6 for $1.25. And you can't break up the bunch now. Okay. I'll even do you one better. When I was a kid, before I went to school, I got a free measles shot. Didn't cost me a dime. Didn't cost my family a dime. Think I got a polio shot too. Smallpox? No, not smallpox, but measles, mumps, pneumonia. Now I got a knucklehead that tells me that I'm not supposed to have a vaccine. Doesn't help me too much that he used to be an intravenous drug user, but I mean, this is the man that's, telling me how to take care of myself. How I'm supposed to live I sound better at 78 than he does.
Yeah.
But this is the man that's telling me, that not only, like it's okay for my insulin to be over $100. Thankfully, I'm not a diabetic, but I'm just saying, I remember when I used to pick up grandma's insulin and get it, for instance, $2, $1.50, whatever it was. I'm trying to figure out what they put in the insulin now that makes it over $100. That
Mm-hmm.
grandma's insulin only costs $2. I mean, did they put some gold in it? I'm just trying to figure these things out. I mean, and especially after you've been around here a long time, it really seems kind of stupid. Uh, the just I was looking today coming home, and gas here in California, here in San Diego in particular, was $4.39. Now that's with all our emissions and all that good stuff. So I know we pay more than what you guys pay back east. But where's that $2 gas? Is it in Atlanta? I know it's not in Pittsburgh.
No, it's not. In fact, I heard him this evening at a press conference talking about how many states had gas under $2, and so it prompted me to go look it up. And I did find that there were about 10 to 12 of them, but it's certainly not here, and it's certainly not there. And so,
But when you say under $2, you talking about $1.96.
$1.90 or $1.90 or $1.99. I think it's between 96 and 99.
Yeah. Okay.
But guess what? When you try to fill up even a small basket at the grocery store, right? You can't come out of there without spending $50. I'm talking about the one. I'm not talking about the one you push. I'm talking about the little one you hold, right? Or the little bag. I guess you take your bag in California. And I don't want to talk about electric bill, right? I know mine was like $227 a month, and then all of a sudden it was $670 a month. Yeah. So
see that's why I say California kind of balances out. Now I might spend about half that in air conditioning during the summer, but right now it's 60-some degrees outside. I ain't got no heat on my house.
There you go.
So but I mean but then again, like I said, I pay $1.25 for 6 bananas. So.
And you out there, I don't know if they're not growing bananas, but they're growing all kind of fruits and vegetables, and yet you still may pay a higher price.
Yeah, but and like the places where they are having most of the problems in Minneapolis are not Somali neighborhoods. Now, I don't know about you, and maybe you have access to a different news source or more information, but I haven't heard about this big group of Somalis that was being hauled away in trailers, because of there's so many illegals, and because of all the fraud. That's within the community. But I have not seen any Somali prisoners or whatever you want to call them. Right. It's the detainees. I haven't seen any Somalis detainees.
Yeah. That's a good point. I can't say that I have either. Now that you mention that, now that you bring it to light.
I got enough glass in front of me. I can see some things, and usually I believe. I've been taught to believe what my eyes see. But
you mean you don't adhere to what the president said? Don't believe your lying eyes. No.
No. But I do think that Minneapolis and the state in particular, and I mentioned the state is because if you look at the record of Minnesota and civil rights, and how many there police shootings that there have been, the first the first policeman to be sent to jail in Minnesota was a black man who killed a white woman. Then after that, of course, they had to send George the guys that killed George Floyd and that. But I still haven't heard about the woman that didn't know the difference between her taser and her pistol. I haven't heard anything about her in quite some time. I mean, so Minnesota has a record of like having these little incidents. What was the young boy? Now he's touring for the right wing. He decided he decided he was going to go to Minnesota or to the riots and shoot him a couple people.
Yeah. I think that was in Kenosha, Wisconsin. But yes, absolutely, Kyle Rittenhouse. And then he became a folk hero, and all the rich white conservative like the My Pillow guy, what's his name? Bailed him out and raised all this money for him.
So I'm just kind of sitting, usually, before you go into a all-out battle or whatever, you kind of test the strength of your enemy, like do a few little probes here and there, and I'm wondering, like if this is not, like one of those that, like let's see how much we can get, how much we can get done. I mean, you got to remember, this was the first white woman. It wasn't the first person that they killed, because they've killed more than that. I think the count is maybe up to about 9 or 10 right now. But this just happened to be a white woman.
Yeah.
So we got plenty of coverage of that. But I don't remember. There was a young boy that was killed on New Year's Day by an off-duty ICE agent. He wasn't even supposed to be on duty, have none of that. And he killed a brother, but you don't hear too much about that. But,
well, we know that there is at least a two-tiered system of justice in this country, right? Certain lives are valued more than other lives, and there's no doubt about that. But what we've seen, which tells me we're in another place I have not seen before, where white women would be brutalized like we're seeing white women being brutalized. So I'm saying when you don't even care about doing that to white women. You remember the lady running for Congress in the Chicago area, and she was out there protesting, and they just grabbed her and slammed her on the ground. You would not see that, James, before in any situation in this country.
No, you would not. There would be hell to pay.
Hell to pay.
Come on.
But that's what happens when you can grab them by the right. You can just grab them. Hey, I can just grab them, right? Yeah. So, hey, what can we say?
I would advise you to try that.
No, you won't see me doing it.
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I'm just saying too. I know that.
That would be between me, you, and Emmett Till, right?
That's right, because you remember I keep going back to what Richard Pryor said. Officer Tinsley, I am reaching into my pocket to get my wallet. What said, Pops taught me hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, and don't take them off.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can stick your hand outside the window. It don't matter.
It may not. You're right. Like the brother, I'm trying to remember the one that was shot with his woman and the little
in
girl
the
in the
car.
car.
Yeah,
I was right
yeah,
outside of Minneapolis.
right. See, outside of where again?
For busted tailpipe, right?
So yeah. And I forget how far south Minnesota is sometimes. Uh,
You know
but
what? You know what I think one of the issues is Brother James in Minneapolis in particular, the Minneapolis area. You know, there are more interracial marriages there than anywhere else in the country.
and
Or anywhere.
indigenous people.
Yeah, yeah. But particularly with black and white people, which is that's the gold standard, right? When you start, that you going into a whole nother area when you dipping in that area, right? So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying, I'm just saying.
I've been married once that way, so I know.
Okay, you know.
Yeah, I got pulled over in Arkansas for kidnapping.
Oh my God.
with, with my marriage certificate in the glove
Oh my
compartment.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
That's another story.
That is another story.
But yeah, brother, I sent you the news about brother Derek. I mean, brother Demetrius, I believe.
I missed it. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He's having some medical issues,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Because I know he is diabetic. He is diabetic.
and now, unfortunately, he's having some conditions with his throat, and fortunately, whereas mine was benign, his
No.
malignant. So he's having to take care of that, and
Yeah. I'll be praying for that, brother. Sure.
his wife passed of cancer, so for him it's a really tough time. So that's why kind of explain his absence, but he is with us in spirit. Great news! We got our EIN today, so I will be sending some things out. We've also had some feedback as far as our Kids Garden Initiative, which we will be starting on the 21st of March. We're trying to find some churches or someone that'll give us a lot so that we can turn it over and cultivate it and show kids the growing process. So we are putting one foot forward at a time. So far, we're making more progress than we kind of imagined it at this particular time. But Brother Derek, we're going to be depending on you for some of those connections there, and I definitely want to get you out here for that book and lecture tour. And it looks like you're going to be provided with a lot of material in these next couple months.
No shortage of material, for sure.
Next week, I will be having a special guest. He will be a member of the local Black Panther organization.
Okay.
I've had him on some of my other shows, but that was another program that I wanted to mention tonight. The Black Panthers of Philadelphia. If anyone's been keeping up with them, they've made sure that all during every day they provide homemade chicken soup at the shelters in Philly.
Yeah.
And they've also made it very clear that we will have no ICE agents here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if anyone, and people, have, I think, a misconception of the Black Panther Party when they say that, because they think that Black Panther Party is only, out for militant blacks. But people forget about the Rainbow Coalition, and that was part of the Panthers' plan. You know, I don't care too much. When you talk about feeding kids in the morning and providing education, uh, we should at least look at it. You might not follow it, but you can, maybe you can pick a few, some low hanging fruit that you might be able to use. You
Yeah.
know. So,
Absolutely.
uh, brother, I want to thank you for joining me tonight, and I'd like to get your final thoughts on what you think. Maybe what we'll be talking about next week. But just what's on your mind as somebody that's worked among this environment?
Well, as you said, my heart is heavy. I am happy though about one thing I'll say. I'm happy and excited about what's going on in Minneapolis is that white people are in the streets. They're in the streets strong, and they're getting, um, they're taking a lot of licks. They're under in the crosshairs here. And when we've had successful movements in this country, it wasn't just black people, it wasn't just brown people, because white people are still the majority, and they we're seeing some shocking things. And I think that is, everybody has to have skin in the game, right, to bring about real change. And so I'm glad to see that's happening. I know that there's supposed to be a march, I want to say this weekend.
Yes,
There's going to be
yes.
some ways, I just heard about that tonight, reminiscent of what happened in Selma when Dr. King called the
What
meeting.
what it is on Friday afternoon
Okay.
at 3 o'clock. Everyone's supposed to walk off out of work.
Okay.
On Saturday, you do not purchase.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
withhold our dollars,
Okay.
and then we go back and revisit places like Target, you know, like that, you know, and maybe they might want to talk, you know. Uh,
But
the,
in addition to that, Brother James, I know that the religious community is calling a march from ministers from all over, because I know that some from my denomination will be there in protest and in solidarity of this government that is being repressive and overarching. And I think all those things and some more, we need to do some more. But every element, you're right, the economically, morally, just every way possible, we need to send a statement and make a stance. Because again, freedom isn't free. And we keep getting reminded of it in ways that we have not for some 40 years. And so I'm glad that, we are, there are some things that most of us, because this president's approval rating is really not, it's pretty bad overall. And it's the deeper we get into this next year, when more and more people are seeing how they're being hurt, it's not going to get any better. But I think because of the insurrection law that he is threatening to, enact, and some of these other things that we're seeing, I really don't think he cares. And I think that it's going to be interesting to see what it takes to get him to turn back. And as you point out, maybe it's a bridge too far for him to go and take Greenland. And I think he's probably looking for an exit ramp on that one because, the NATO is starting to send,
Well, I mean, there's other little places to pick on. I mean,
that's right. That's right.
You know,
For people that look like me and you and
yeah, I mean,
aren't Anglo, right? You remember when he said, yeah, we need some more immigrants, but we need some from Sweden and Norway.
Norway, and I mean, can't get too much more. I mean,
That's true. That's true.
Blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean,
There you go. There you go.
Unless you're saying Zig Heil, what more can you say?
That's it. That's it. Make it plain. He makes it plain.
Well, he makes it plain for those that know history.
That's true.
You see, but if you don't read history and you don't pay attention to it, then this is all new to them. So, but.
And I just go back to all of our people who don't think it makes a difference whether you vote or not. Because whatever you may think about your sister from a little north of you in Oakland, we wouldn't have been dealing with all this.
Hey, that little lady out of Texas, I love her to death.
Jasmine Crockett, yeah.
But once again, like she's too boisterous. She, she's about as real as her nails, right? What that what JD said,
Yeah.
But I would love to see them in a face-off. If the rules of the game were the same.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I do appreciate, and this is, really hard for a man that has 7 sisters, to even think about a black woman being president, but that she got that fire. She has that fire that and I think that's another discussion that we need to have. What happened to the heart of men? I mean, I keep seeing that stereotype about that strong black woman and that weak black man. So we're going to have a discussion about that one day also. But as I said, Brother Williams will be joining us next week. We'll be talking about some of the things, I'm sure, that the Panthers have their own plan. And as I said, they've opened up the kitchens again. Those of you that live in Philadelphia, be safe. And be strong.
And I think a lot of people, Brother James, particularly a lot of our young people, have heard for years and decades something about the Panthers, but have never heard one, seen one. And so I think there'll be a really great interest in hearing from him. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. So I will be seeing you next week. As I said, we wish Demetrius, he'll be in all our prayers.
Yeah.
And I will be talking to Masada tomorrow. So we will be having a couple things, talking about our shirts, of course.
Yes. It's a little too cool for me to wear mine yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
No, we're going to get you a hoodie. We're going to get you a hoodie. He made a red one the other day, really nice. I don't even, I'm not a red person, but I rocked it.
All right.
So you have a great night.
You do the same, Brother James.
And I'll see you next week.
Absolutely.